Minneapolis, Minnesota is where David awaits. David, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and Rachel. Thanks for taking my call. So calling for kind of how to have a financial conversation with your significant other. So my girlfriend and I have been seeing each other since the beginning of the year. I've been dating most of that time. And I understand that finances are one of those big ticket items that we definitely need to be on the same page before I put a ring on it. Ha ha ha. We had one a few months ago, and we shared a few things, specifically our overall debt number. And I could tell that she was very uneasy and uncomfortable and probably felt some shame. And so we were dealing with a lot of other things. So I'm like, hey, let's put this conversation on the shelf and we'll address it later. And we've been fine since then with regarding that. And just would like to hear your thoughts on how to have that conversation, how to enter in that conversation, how to have boundaries. Do we need a third party to help mediate that conversation?
How serious is this gal for you?
Pretty darn.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys even talking about marriage?
So, not yet. But that's because she is we have agreed not to do any progression forward, because she is in her first year of residency, and that's a very taxing year. And I'm on the idea of engagement should be 3 to 6 months, and we're not even near that.
All right.
Like that time frame, time scheduling frame.
I don't know what Rachel's going to say, but that's what makes this show fun. I think that I would be talking to her about general thoughts about money. Like, what do you think about debt? Last time you kind of talked about, here's how much debt I have, and then she told you how much she had, and you felt like she was shameful about it and all that kind of stuff. But that's not talking about philosophies. And this is really about philosophical thoughts about money, which is simply, what do you believe about money? What do you value? What do you care about? I don't want to have debt. I would like to pay off all my debt. Once I pay it off in my marriage, I don't want us to do that. I mean, you don't have to talk about marriage per se, but just talking about your views and thoughts about money. And I'd start there. Hey, I'm just curious. What do you think about this? This is what I think about money. This is what I believe about money. Does that hit you the wrong way? What do you think? I'd make it all about you so you don't put her on the defensive. And then you're going to lay out your values on money, and I would see how she reacts to that. Is she just asking legitimate, inquisitive type, I'm just getting to the bottom of what you believe, or does she have some sort of problem with it? But Rachel, I'd kind of stay there. It seems that where they're at in their relationship, I wouldn't go much deeper than just putting your values out and seeing how she reacts to it.
Yeah, because regardless of her number of how much debt she has, if she's in residency and she took out medical bills, it's probably medical student loans to go to medical school. Yeah. Then it's probably going to be a lot. But regardless of the number, that's not a reason not to marry someone. But different value systems, that's your red flag. And that's what Ken is saying. And I think that's what's wise is to have these overall. But you guys, how old are you guys?
So I'm 34 and she's 39 or 29. Okay.
So y'all are, at the age, you're not like 18 and 19 where it's like the word marriage could scare us. You guys are at the point as adults that if you're dating for a significant period of time, I guess in my head, it's eventually going to go somewhere.
Well, now, what do you think about, this is what I wanted to know, because the female opinion versus the male opinion. Do you sense anything where she said, "Oh, let's just not advance the relationship until I get through year one"? I had a little red flag, but that's coming from a dude's perspective. That's why I'm putting that out there. Do you see a red flag?
I know that it is a taxing
It is,
thing,
without question.
But I think that there's a lot of things in life that are very taxing, and I would want to do it with Winston as my husband.
Okay. So I'd like him to have this conversation. I want your opinion on this. I'd like him to have this conversation about money sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I would say it's one of those conversations along with other conversations of values. So yeah, having the values conversation around money. Hey, what I see in my life in the next 3 years is being married, and when it comes to money, I want to be able to have no debt, pay it off. If my future spouse, you're my long-term girlfriend, so it's probably going to be you. Paying off debt, living debt-free, being intentional with our money, having goals. all of that is a value of yours, David. And then, kids, there's another big conversation around kids, in-laws, sex. I mean, these are big life conversations that you have to have before marriage, and money, yes, is one of them. And at the top of the list, like you said, David, because it does cause a lot of tension. So making sure that you guys have the same values. But also, David, can I say this? I don't know you.
Oh, I'm very excited.
But I kind of think you just need to kind of just relax a little bit.
Oh, I do too. 10 months.
You said, 10
months
and you said
dating.
It's a 3 to 6 month window of engagement. I was like, why?
Yeah.
What in a crazy world, David, would you just say, let's go to the courthouse? We've been dating a month. We've been dating a year. And let's just go, right?
I do think you've got things in a box, and I can tell you that life rarely fits neatly into the box. I could not agree with you more.
Did we hurt your feelings, David? What do you think?
So the window of engagement that's how long I think engagement should be. 3 months if 3 months I think is on the shorter end of engagement. 6 months is longer, asterisks, circumstances. 7 months. So I know
I'd talk to her about that while we're at it. I'd add that one to the list.
Yeah. And I'm fine waiting, but I'm fine waiting. What's another 6 months or so? And I know that she doesn't have a whole lot of bandwidth because of residency is very, very taxing.
Yeah, and she may not want to plan a wedding and all of that. So I get that.
Yes, 100%.
And I want to take as many things off her plate and not necessarily put more things on her plate, like these more in-depth conversations.
No, that's a cop-out. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is not putting more on her plate. You need to figure out, you're very serious about this, and I get it. I love a man with a plan. I love a man with an opinion. But you need to find out if you guys are on the same page. Sooner rather than later. She's not too busy that she can't have the conversation that Rachel suggested.
Well, yeah, and because these conversations too, David, they bring a level of depth to your relationship. You get to, know her on a deeper level. And so that's not adding more to her plate. That's actually like loving her really well and wanting to know more of who she is and that. So like to me, that's a relationship. That's not that's not adding more to her plate. That's being a significant other, in my opinion.
I got a bad feeling.
Oh no, kid!
I really do. This is not a relationship show, but I'd love to have one. Because if it was, I would say, my friend, we need to have this conversation and everything else pretty darn soon. Feels like you may be getting the Heisman Trophy stance coming at you a little bit, and she's blaming the school and it's a lot.
Okay, or David's gone on really tough, and he's like, "Tell me how much debt you have," and she's like, "Whoa!"
I didn't get you're making my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
He could be a little too intense. Maybe she needs to breathe a little bit.
That's right. So
with your 3 to 6 month engagement rule, it's maybe too much for her. I don't know. It's interesting stuff. Have the conversation sooner rather than later.
All of them, David. Yeah. Embrace it.
Martin is with us in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hey, Martin, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have a charge-off loan that was charged off, I believe, in August 27th. Or no, I'm sorry. It was charged off actually not too long ago. It's a loan for $8,000, and I have a backstory with it, but I just want to know what are the steps to tackling this loan, considering it's only been about 6 to 8 months that I have not paid.
Mm-hmm. What kind of loan?
It's just a personal loan at the time. Before I was interested in investing and saving, I got a loan when I had a job to purchase a dream car I wanted.
Okay, so you owe $8,000 to who?
It's an online lender called Lightstream.
Okay. All right, I'm with you now. All right. George?
So why weren't you able to pay the loan?
I got injured back in January 22nd of last year. I was a UPS driver. I fell out of the back of a truck and hit my back. My work did not work with me, and so I eventually got a lawyer to fight against UPS. We finally settled after a year. I just got the settlement check about a week ago, and I'm holding on to it for certain reasons, and this is one of them.
Okay. How much is the check?
We settled for $15,600.
All right. And have you worked at all since?
No, sir. I've been injured, stuck at home.
Okay. So have you had any income, any disability, anything like that?
No, sir.
What are you going to do for your career going forward?
Right now, I'm going back to school. I'm going for my my associates for business, and hopefully going farther than that. As soon as I'm done with that, I have about 5 classes left for that.
Are you living with your parents?
I live with yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm living with my mother. She's been taking care of me since then. God bless her.
Wow. How are you paying for the school?
She offered to pay for 1 class for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I registered for 2, and luckily my school gave me a $500 grant. So the bill came out to $100.
Good. Okay. Very good.
Do you have any other debt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just before this call, I spoke to Nusenda, my banking, and I have 2 credit cards that are maxed out because I was paying for stuff after I was injured. So those are maxed out at $2,500
each or total?
Total for both credit cards.
Got it.
One's $1,000 and one's $1,500.
Okay.
I tried working with them. My mom tried working with them, seeing if they could lower it if she was willing to pay it off. Unfortunately, the only thing they can do is lower the interest rate and the minimum payment.
Are you current with them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why. Yeah. All right.
And that's all the debt?
The plan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are you up and around where you're able to do something to create an income while you're in school?
Right now, after a year, my back is starting to get better. I've noticed some improvements. I still want to go with the doctors because in my settlement, I received a $20,000 medical. I guess just for medical.
I'm not
bills,
suggesting that you don't finish your medical care. I'm suggesting you go create an income. Are you able to do that?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, you're up walking around, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you can go do something. You're not going to load trucks again. You're not going to be in a position
No,
to do
sir.
that. You've got a back injury. I didn't suggest that. I don't want you to go lifting heavy trays as a waiter. You're not going to be able to do that right now, okay? You may someday, but right now you can't. But you could go do something that did not require physical labor, and there's lots of those things available right now.
Yes, sir.
And you need to create some income. It'll be good for your attitude and your pocketbook.
And with the settlement check, I mean, we can clean up this debt today. Was there anything else you wanted to do with it other than I want you to cash flow the rest of your school for sure?
Yes, sir. I was just my mother and I had a plan.
Yeah.
She wanted to try to settle the debts and try to lower them, considering if we were to pay everything off without trying to lower it, it would only come out to around $5,000, maybe a little bit less than that. So, and I'm not sure how much interest rate or fees or anything like that.
Here's what I would do. I'd write a check today and pay off your credit cards and get some scissors out and cut them up.
Okay.
Where you never use them again. Okay. The second thing I'd do is I'd call this company that you got the $8,000 with and you haven't paid since August and ask them what they will take as settlement in full.
Okay.
And they will probably take $5,000 or $4,000 or something. They're probably going to make you an offer. And if they make you an offer that's less than $8,000, take it and write them a check. Get it in writing from them before you send them money, that they're agreeing to accept X number of dollars as settlement in full. That's the phrase you're looking for, settlement in full.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a difference between pay and delete?
Pay and delete?
Yes, sir. For it's a chart. I just looked a bunch of YouTube videos and saw that
pay and delete doesn't mean anything. That doesn't even exist.
Yes, sir. Okay.
They pay and delete means if you pay the loan off, they're going to delete the loan. Duh. Okay. Of course they're going to do that. But no, you need the legal phrase is settlement in full. You are making a settlement and they're accepting it as payment in full.
Yes, sir.
So it's settlement in full, and you need that in an email or something in writing, and you keep a hard copy of it with a copy of the check that you wrote or the wire transfer that you did or whatever it was in a file for the rest of your life, because this may come up again.
Yes, sir.
It may come up again. It may come back and bite you later, and you'll have to have proof that you settled this and got rid of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend too much more time and energy trying to fight all this stuff. You took out the debt, pay it off, and move on with your life, man. You got a bright life ahead of you, bright future, and that's what we want for you.
Yeah,
Clean
but
up
if you've
this
got
debt.
no debt hanging over you, and you still got a little money in your pocket, which would be the case here, and you're in school, and you're starting to create an income, now your future is brightening back up again. That's what I'm trying to put together, a total life picture here for where you're going. But you need to go create some income starting this week, sir.
So I recently found out that my boyfriend of a decade is in $80,000 of secret credit card debt. I knew he had 40 grand in student loans that he was slowly paying off. And he recently asked me to co-sign on a $100,000 HELOC on his home that he owns. My name is not on it, but I do live there. I've only lived there about the last 2 years.
Oh, my
So that he can pay off that credit card debt because he has maxed out every card and is pretty much at the end of his rope.
How'd
And
you
did
find out
not
about
tell
this?
me he hit the end of the rope.
Oh, man.
What is his addiction?
Cars. He runs his own classic car restoration shop, and I thought he was making more money than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he wasn't. He was leveraging most of it on credit cards. He is excellent at what he does, but he is not good at the business side of things. He sees a car he wants, he gets it. He cycles through like 3 or 4 sports cars a year.
Interesting.
Yeah, he sees a build, he buys it, he builds it, he gets bored with it, he sells it, repeat.
So you definitely told him you're not co-signing the $100,000
Yeah.
HELOC, right?
Because if he takes one of those sports cars and wraps around a telephone pole, I'm stuck with his debt for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
For context, I did not live with him for the majority of our relationship. I was on baby step 6. I got in a nearly fatal car accident, and my health insurance sued me personally to take back the $500,000 they spent on me.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my car, my house, my job, my life savings. The only thing I was left with was my kids' college savings because they legally could not touch that.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved in with him. He took care of me after the accident. It took me like 2 years to learn to walk,
Oh, my gosh.
get out of a wheelchair, come out of a walker, and get a job again. We lived on my life savings. That's where they all went. And then the health insurance took everything else. So I did consider the HELOC for a second because I felt like I owed him, but I cannot.
Oh.
I am debt free.
Yeah. Yes. No. Let me affirm that in you. You don't. If someone takes care of you, it's out of the goodness of their heart, and it's an act of generosity. And I am a firm believer that if somebody does something out of an act of generosity, they're not looking to be paid back. And it's, even if they were, this is not apples to apples. Okay. I'm sure that if something happened to
Yeah,
him,
we don't enable financial
yes.
misbehavior because of that.
That being said, I'm trying to say this delicately. I don't know if there is a way to put it delicately.
You don't have to be delicate.
Okay. What's it matter to you? You're not married. You've kept your financial life separated. He does this. You do this. He has his house. So what's it to you?
I lived in his house. I've lived in his house for the last 2 years because the health insurance company sued me and took mine.
Right.
I was 47 and a half away from paying off my own house.
Gotcha.
Are you working full
so I
time
lived
now?
there.
Meet Every Dollar Budgeters Christy and Steve. Their life is chaotic, but their money is simple because they budget with every dollar.
Budgeting with the spreadsheet took a ton of time.
But now with every dollar, I can do a budget in 5 minutes.
And tracking purchases is just as simple.
It's so freeing to know exactly where your money is going.
It just takes that stress out of the day-to-day life.
You got this, Hannigan family. Every dollar. Create your free account today.
Are you working full
so I
time
live
now?
There. I am working full time, but my earning capacity is greatly reduced because I had spinal injuries. I have a TBI, and I cannot work at the same capacity that I used to.
So what do you
I
make?
went from working. I make about $35,000 a year,
Okay.
dropping from the $70,000 I used to make.
Okay.
Right. But again, he has $80,000 in debt. Are you worried that he's going to lose his house?
No,
And if
he
he
has
loses his house, you lose
Yes.
your house?
So he has 80 just in credit card debt, 40 in student loans.
Got you.
Are you sure this is all of the debt?
Yes, we sat down and I made him show me. We pulled everything. We pulled a credit report. I said, I have to see everything because I'm currently paying all of our bills.
Why are you paying the bills?
Because he has nothing to pay them with. That was the end of the rope.
Okay. So here, okay. Again, I asked the question. How can I put this? There's no real lines around this relationship. So it's very hard for me to say, here's how you get involved financially in someone with that you're not married to, and A, has really lied for the course of a decade. And the hard part is you're feeling like this person took care of me. There's two really emotional lines here that are hard for you. They took care of you when you needed it, and you're kind of, if this goes south, you kind of feel like you're up a creek without a paddle because this is where you're living.
Oh, I'm completely up a creek without a paddle because I don't have any family members that I can rely on. I don't have any friends anymore. A lot of them, unfortunately, turned out to be fair weather friends, and that came out during my accident.
I'm sorry, but
and I do not.
I'm sorry, but
I do not make the minimum to get a house where I currently live.
But you can't. So if this is a dysfunctional relationship, you can't allow yourself to stay in a dysfunctional relationship for the financial benefit. And now that there's not one, right? I would rather you.
There's definitely not one.
You feel like you're against a corner, and I can see that, and I can hear that. But I want to encourage you to look and say there might be other windows that allow you to get out of this.
If you made more money, would you leave this relationship today?
Knowing what I did about hiding $80,000 in debt, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's the case, then why don't we go rent somewhere, find a roommate or two if we have to, and get to some stable ground where you're not attached to this anchor that's going to continually drag you down because you're paying his bills and you're broke.
Yeah, you can't afford that.
Yeah.
So you're not really gaining as much as you think. I'd rather you go pay $1,000 in rent and have 2 or 3 roommates.
The mortgage is $1,100.
Yeah,
so I've currently been doing that, looking around, trying to find somewhere that's affordable. Most places, I have an excellent credit score. I have an 18 credit score, so that's not the issue.
So you could go rent anywhere right now.
Then the
problem is the 3 times the monthly rent, and the average rent in my area is $2,500 a month.
Okay, but George is also saying, is there a way that we can get a roommate situation?
Yeah, I've been looking.
Okay, keep the hunt up
it's a lot of hunting. Yeah,
there's Facebook groups. There's all kinds of resources. There's a bunch of great gals out there who would love a great roommate like Allie, who can pay her fair share and more. And I think that's your situation. Get out of this, not staying in it because of desperation. He's made it clear. I mean, it's been a decade of this. He hasn't committed to you.
Yeah.
There's been no ring, no engagement, just secret
lies.
debt. And so I don't know that the ship's going to turn around magically in the next year. It sounds like he has chosen his obsession over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your work situation again.
So I was an emergency room nurse. I worked like 70 hours a week.
But what you're doing now,
and I now work doing maintenance surveying for my county.
Okay. And your health is what's keeping you from doing more hours?
I work full-time, 40 hours a week. It's the physical aspect of it.
So then let's hook you up. Let's hook you up with some other prospects. We're going to make sure you have proximity principle. We're going to have you find the work you're wired to do, because I think there's probably other jobs out there that are less physical that you can make more money doing for 40 hours a week. And so maybe getting you
fit. Are there more
fit.
administrative roles in a medical setting that you could do?
I looked at it, but because of the TBI, sometimes I have issues with short-term memory. I have to write everything down. I have vertigo attacks, so sometimes anything with a lot of
But you're working 40 hours a week now, which means there are things that you can do for 40 hours a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to do something that maybe is not as taxing on you physically, but still gets you the hours and still gets you the money. We'll hook you up with the things that you need.
Create your free $Every budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
I just inherited about $1.5 million.
Wow.
And I'm getting married in a little over 3 months, and so I want to know if I should get a prenup or not.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Whoa.
Where'd the money come from?
My grandpa was a successful businessman in like hardware stuff, and so I have like he had about $500,000 in stocks, and then he loaned his business about $1 million, and so I get loan repayments on that. And then he owned his business building, and then my mother's house, and just various accounts they have.
Are you getting cash? $1 million cash?
No, she's getting $500,000 cash and then payments on $1 million.
Through all the rest.
Yeah, so $500,000 in cash, $500,000 in stocks, and then the rest in business notes mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before this happened, did you have any money?
I was pretty good with my money and had a pretty.
How much money did you have before this happened?
I had $10,000.
Okay. You didn't have any money. Okay. And
that's
well, I know it's not like you had. It's not like you already had $500,000. Is what I'm talking about.
For those of you that say
There's a little difference in $500,000 or $1.5 million and $10,000. Okay. Now the fiance, does he have any money?
Not a ton.
What's he do?
He graduated college, and his parents have a franchise called Mosquito Joe that he was going to take over, but he's done some work to start it up, but I'm just a little concerned that the inheritance has made him it's created less pressure for him to work.
That's a different question than do I need a prenup? Okay? That is, you need pre-marriage counseling.
Okay.
When is the wedding scheduled?
November 20th.
I'm sorry? November what? 20th. Oh, November 20th this year.
November 20th.
So two or 3 months. Have y'all been through pre-marriage counseling yet?
We did one group thing, but not like individual.
Okay. You need to do some intensive marriage counseling where you say to him what you said to us.
Okay.
That's very important. Okay? Because here's the problem. Money does not cause people to have problems. It exposes problems that they have. It magnifies the good and the bad in you and in him. And what you're saying is this has magnified a lack of work ethic or something along those lines, a lack of motivation or whatever we want to call it, and this seems to have made it worse, it feels like, to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he know that you were going to be getting this money? Was this a conversation, or was it a little bit out of the blue for both of you?
Well, so we had been together about 5 years, and then my dad passed away, so that's how I inherited it.
I'm sorry, Molly.
Wow. Yeah, you've been through a lot, kiddo. All right, so the point is this. Yes, I do want you to get a prenup, and I'll come back in a minute and explain why. I don't believe in prenups very often, but occasionally I do. What I don't want you to do is to think your prenup is going to fix your fiance. It doesn't. It just helps you escape him if it goes completely bad. Okay? So you've got to go in and have real clear relational goals with him, and that's 90% of solving the problem you called about. 10% is the prenup piece of paper. If you've got to fix a future spouse with a prenup, you shouldn't get married, is my point, because the prenup won't fix them. It's like doing a contract with a crook. Contracts don't make crooks suddenly honest. They're still going to find a way to crook you.
Yeah.
Okay? Contracts are not magical documents. They don't suddenly give people character. And prenups are not magical documents. They don't suddenly solve relationship issues that have been exposed by this newfound money. So I want you to really, really, really lean into that. And a good friend of mine asked me this morning, he said his daughter's getting ready to get engaged, and he wanted advice on what to tell the young man talking to him about his hand in marriage to his daughter. I said, FPU and pre-marriage counseling. Pre-marriage counseling alone will set you up detailed in depth. Rachel and Winston did it. Denise and Bill did it. Daniel and Allison did it. And I mean, these poor people are married into the Ramsey family. They need counseling. So right? And it's deal with the family of origin that looks like this one. Oh my God! And so, you got to do it, Molly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I would tell you a yes on a prenup is not because of what you're concerned about with him. It's because anytime there's a great disparity, like a huge pile of money like you've got versus no money like he's got, it brings out weirdness in the extended family. Like his mother leans over and says, well, honey, you don't have to work so hard, you know. It brings out weirdness in the extended family. And there's always crazy in every family, folks. And if you think there's not crazy in your family, that means it's you. So you've got to know that this $1.5 million, it's going to warp your relationship with them. And one of the things a prenup does is it helps him not be susceptible to the other family influences that are weirded out by this money. Okay?
Okay.
It doesn't fix him, but it gives you guys some tools to say, look, this money's just not accessible for that. It's not accessible for Mosquito Joe. Sorry, we're not doing it. And by the way, Mosquito Joe's a great little franchise. We're actually a customer.
Yeah.
So,
and Molly, and you guys,
about the great financial prospect.
Yeah, and you guys, y'all been together, since 16 years old? 17?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so and again, not that you can't marry your high school sweetheart by any means, but I do think a good counseling or therapy, honestly, before you walk into this is going to be huge, because there's habits or routines or just this kind of like way you guys have been doing life since you're 17.
Yeah.
That having a professional sit down and kind of just shake up the dynamic a little bit.
Change the high school romance into a marriage.
Which is good, yeah. I'm like, because it's a totally different ball game. And you're kind of feeling that now all of a sudden when you're out on your own and here's your soon-to-be husband thinking, oh my gosh, is he gonna carry his weight? And all of that needs to be exposed and fleshed out beforehand. So you're not crazy, Molly. This is a flag.
Because the disparity is so wide, I would get a prenup. Otherwise, I would not, folks. And don't think the prenup's going to fix the relationship. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
So I've dug myself a hole, and I don't know what the right answer is. Well, actually, I probably do know what the right answer is, but I don't know how to get out of it.
Okay. What happened?
Well, to make a long story short, my wife and I got married 2 years ago after dating for about 6 years. We waited till all the kids were out of high school and we could combine households a little more easily. After a big wedding, we started trying to pay stuff off, but the minute we got home from the honeymoon and when it became the business of a relationship, the relationship changed, and that's where the problem lies. So in the process of paying stuff off, last July we decided, because we weren't making any progress on the credit cards, we made it a really wise decision to take a 401k loan for $50,000 payable in 2 years to pay it off. But now the credit cards are coming back. So I've got a list if you want a list, but just not sure what to do with it.
What's the so your core question is what?
How do I fix this and keep my marriage?
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So you've got a total of how much debt?
120.
Okay. And 50 is a 401k now.
Right. So 35 left. That's correct.
Oh, 35 of the 120. Okay.
35 of that 401k is left.
Okay.
Yeah,
what else?
So there's 35 of your 120 is a 401k loan. What is the other 85,000?
Okay, so we've got credit card with 11.8, credit card with 7,200, credit card with 19.2, credit card with 2,900, 2 cars at 31.8 and 22.4. My daughter's car at 2,900, which will be paid off very shortly, and a trailer for my losing business at 4,300.
Okay. All right. And what's your household income?
About 200.
Okay. What's the losing business? What's that mean?
So to fund an early retirement, I have a woodworking business that I do on the side. It's taking up 6 to 8 hours a night and every weekend. And in the last 2 years, we've lost about $10,000 a year.
Okay. So that sounds like an expensive hobby that's taking up a bunch of money and a bunch of time, both. That's kind of an easy decision, isn't it? I need the 8 hours to spend on my marriage. I need the $10,000 to spend on something else rather than a losing business. Close it and sell off the stuff. Why wouldn't you do that?
I could.
Yeah, you could. You'd have 8 hours to spend on your marriage. You said you're spending 8 hours a night on this?
Yeah, I'm normally in my shop until between 9 and 10 o'clock every night.
Yeah, that's good for marriage. Yeah. Okay. And especially since you're not making any money. I mean, if you were making $10,000 a night or something, she'd probably be tolerant. But, okay, so you have a $200,000 income. You have cars coming out your ears, credit cards coming out your ears. Now, the credit cards are growing back. So that tells us that you guys continue to spend more than you make. If the credit cards are growing back, right?
Yeah, you took the HELOC out for the credit cards. Tell me what you're spending this money on. Is this just putting food on the table? Is this funding your business? What's going on these credit cards?
So three of those cards are funding the business. One of them goes away in a week because I made a big sale.
Did you cut them up yet?
They're put away. They're not cut up.
Okay, there's the problem.
No, there's a different problem. I disagree. The two of you have not sat down and said with a written budget that we're going to live on less than $200,000 a year. Why?
To be honest, we have, but then something always comes in.
So you just didn't stick to it?
Pretty much.
So an example of something that comes in is what?
$4,000 collection item from Verizon from 4 years ago that we didn't know was coming, or a foreclosure for her and her ex-husband on timeshare of all things that paid immediately because his credit doesn't need to be affected.
I'm sorry.
I know timeshare is your favorite word.
No, I don't understand why his credit matters to you. Or to his ex-wife.
She was obligated to pay it in the divorce.
Oh, okay. All right. So she knew she had that, and the Verizon bill was hers too?
Yes.
So she knew she had that. Mine. She just didn't know when they were going to drop. But she knew these were unpaid bills, and if she's an adult. I'm missing something here, Jack. Okay, I don't understand why this is ending your marriage. Because the two of you can't get on the same page, or what's the problem?
So the stress of the bills weighs heavy, okay. And we go out and we do we go to like a craft show on the weekend, and we make a little bit of money, and all of a sudden we're all in and we're ready to go take this business into early retirement. But by Tuesday, when it rolls around and we're back out in the shop, it's oh, holy cow, we got to work again.
So
but
you just have a short term.
That's your side hustle,
right?
You have a $200,000 income, and the two of you can't decide to live on that. That's what's confusing to me.
I think that your mindset is. There's some place in your brain where you think you can kind of windfall yourself out of this, whether it's, hey, we'll just take out the HELOC and that'll be our windfall to get out of this, even though it's not. Or, hey, we can go to these craft shows and maybe we can make enough money to get a windfall and get out of this. And I think what Dave is getting at is you guys haven't truly looked at your behavior together as a team. If you set a course and say, we're going to do this, no one else can make you follow that course of action other than the people in the mirror. Yeah. And that's what we're getting at is...
So, Jack, if you wanted to have some dramatic moves forward, okay, I can give you 4 things right now that if you go do them, by the end of the time you do those, which should be within 2 weeks, you're going to have a completely different scenario in your life. Sell both cars, sell the trailer, get out of the woodworking business, sit down with your spouse, and do a written, detailed budget where the two of you live on less than your day income, and you guys can clean this mess up in no time. But you're screwing around with craft shows, losing $10,000 a year and 8 hours a night and losing your butt, and you can't sit down and manage to make it through a $4,000 bill making $200K. So you can do this, but you got 2 stinking expensive cars, you got a stinking expensive hobby that you wish was a business, and the 2 of you aren't working together. That's the answer, right? Those 4 things. Hang on, we're going to put you through Financial Peace University, see if we can help you too. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
I am terrified, to be honest. I'm expecting my first child soon. And
congratulations.
Thank you. I am in a very big hole. I'm considering filing bankruptcy just because that's kind of what's been recommended to me by a couple of friends. But I'm just more so looking for guidance because I don't really know where to start or what to do, or if that's even the best option for my situation.
Yeah. Well, tell us more. How much debt are you in?
A little over $200,000.
Oh, wow. And what kind of debt is that?
So it's kind of a mix. About $25,000 of it is strictly credit cards.
Okay.
$14,000 is from student loans, and then the remainder is pretty much delinquent, like previous bills that I am behind on or kind of got charged off, or auto loans.
Tell us about the auto loans.
Okay, so I had a car rental business that started last year, but it's pretty much a failed business at this point because I'm not really making any revenue. And I've considered and tried multiple times selling the vehicles and, trying to trade them in.
How many?
But no one. There's 5 different ones.
Can you go through and tell us the story on each of them, like what you owe on it and what it's worth?
Yes. So there's 5 different ones. I can pull it up if you give me 1 second.
Sure. So what were you doing, like Turo or something?
Yes.
Okay. And so my guess is you pulled debt on all of these vehicles with the intent to rent them. And you ran up the miles on them, so probably they depreciated very quickly, but you just weren't making the spread that you thought you would. Is that what?
Right. One of the vehicles actually started out as a personal vehicle, but then I eventually, of course, used it for the business side of things once I resigned from my previous job.
Got it. Okay. So that makes sense, because before when you said, hey, 25,000 credit cards, 14,000 student loans, the rest is in like other stuff. I'm like, gosh, that's like $160,000 in other. Okay, it makes sense now that it's cars. Do you have that info? If not, we can move on to the next thing.
I do have all of the cars and how much is owed on each one.
Okay.
But as far as the value of them, I kind of got the information a little while back, so it's not as up to date.
Okay, well, as much as we can go through them and kind of give you some insight. So the first car, let's call it car number 1. What do you owe on it?
The first one I owed $24,000.
And what do you think it'd be worth private sale?
What I've tried or what I got last information on was about $20,000.
Okay, and how long ago was that information?
Probably about 3 to 4 months ago, and this is for all of them, about 3 to 4 months ago.
Okay, so one is 20, you're $4,000 upside down. Okay, not as bad as I thought. What's the next one?
The second one is about $28,000. It's what's $28,007 is what's owed on it. Do you want me to keep going on the other ones?
You said you owe $28,000.
And you could get $28,000 from it?
As far as that one's worth, it's probably a couple months ago, it was around $25,000 is what it was worth.
Okay. What about car number 3?
Number 3 is $37,500.
Okay.
What I was told it was worth is about maybe 33-ish and some change.
And just for clarity, what did you go to, like a CarMax type place? Where'd you get that information?
Correct. That's where I got them all previously appraised.
Okay, that's good to know. The good news is, what I want to encourage you, like before we even get through the list, the good news is CarMax value is like probably the lowest value you would get for them. If you sold these private sale, you might actually break even.
Yeah. Yep.
So keep going. Let's hear number 4 and number 5 real quick, and then Rachel and I will give you our advice.
Okay, number 4 is about $40,000. that's owed on it, and that's the one that I really don't know what it's worth. But if I'm guessing, it's probably about 5,000 upside down, but I'm not 100% for sure.
Okay. And then the final one?
The final one is 42,002 is what's owed, and the last time I got it appraised, it was about 6,000 upside down.
Okay. So the good news is, I really think for sure the first three, if you sold in private sale, you could probably break even or get really, really close. But I think if I were in your shoes, and I'm not saying this is not a sexist comment by any means, but I'd be getting with whoever I know that has a little bit more cojones in this area and like more expertise. Like, I'd be calling up my dad and brother, be like, help me sell these cars.
ASAP.
Because
I just added this up. That's $171,000 in cars.
Yeah.
And if in worst case scenario, you're probably $16,000 upside down. So this, I mean, I would be making, I would say I'm getting rid of these in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would be putting them everywhere, all over the internet, anywhere I could. I have some great cars and I'm selling them, get them out of my life, because that frees up. I mean, I can't imagine the car payments you're paying every month on these, Maya. I mean, like that would be my number one. And so there is a lot of hope in that situation. That
100%.
Yeah. The majority of all of these, I mean, you could be.
Have you tried to sell them and not had luck? Is that what's holding you back?
Yeah. There also a few of them are like extremely past due to the point where they're kind of out for repossession. So it's like I'm trying to get rid of them.
So
but
they're
at the
back
same
payments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would make me get that, and I would take less to get them out quicker, so that they don't get repoed, because then you have nothing to offset the debt. So even if you have to take less, I would. I mean, this is more of a desperate situation because of what you're in. You know, Maya, it's kind of like, with people that are behind on their mortgage, and it's like you'd rather sell it quickly than get foreclosed on. I mean, it's kind of the same equivalent. So
the hard thing though is you've got to be able to give them the title. So how are you going to close the gap from the one? Do you know what I'm saying? If you take less, how are you going to close the gap so that you can actually sell it free and clear? Do you have any money anywhere saved?
I only have, as of today, probably about $1,000 to my name.
Okay, so what I would do then with that $1,000, because breaking loose on one of these is going to help you avalanche through all of them. So the one that you was the least upside down was number 2, the one that you owed $28,000 on that was worth $25,000. If you can just really quickly get $3,000 saved and just focus on that one, you even clearing one of these immediately is going to rock your world.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
And so that's what I'd focus on. And then after that, they're going to go like dominoes, because it's going to clear up that payment. You're not going to feel the stress of it. And so focus on one at a time. But there's a lot of hope here, like Rachel said.
Yep, for sure. And what you can do to make money between now and when baby comes is going to be as helpful as possible, too.
That's right. That's right.
Some extra money. Maya, if you stay on the line, Christian's going to pick up, and we're going to get you with a financial coach to even walk with you through some of this, because there's a lot here. And with a baby coming, I know it's just life. It's difficult. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for the call.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Braden is with us in Tulsa. Hi, Braden. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Good. I just have a concern. I feel kind of like my wife and I are drowning. We have a 2-year-old, and we're expecting another baby in October.
You are drowning.
And
Congrats, Braden.
It's awesome, man.
Thank you.
That's great. But wow, what a house full of love. There's a lot going on here.
Definitely. Onto the drowning part. My wife and I, she's a teacher. I just work part-time because I'm trying to go to school full-time. And we make about $50,000 a year. And that turns out to be about $3,600 a month. And we have a $1,000 mortgage payment. We budget $400 for groceries, and our total debt payments are about $1,000. We have $10,000 in credit card debt, $24,000 in student loans that we're paying on right now, $10,000 in car loans, and all of that just leaves us with very minimal.
Oh yeah, you got no room in
money.
this budget. Yeah. So when do you graduate?
I graduate in fall 2023. So in a year and a half, basically.
In what?
In human resources management.
Okay. You got a tough 18 months ahead of you. You got a lot going on. Babies, young marriage, debt coming out your ears. Your house payment's too big. Your other debts are too big. Yeah, you are overwhelmed. I don't blame you. I get it. I see how you feel drowning. But you're gonna work an extra job a lot more than you are now. You've got to get your income up, or something's going to have to give. And the something may be selling the house, it may be selling the car, it may be selling both of them. But the numbers you're giving me are not sustainable. That's why you feel like you're drowning.
Yeah, we have $10,000 for 2 cars. So my wife and I both have a car.
Yeah, okay. You've not got super expensive cars, but a $1,000 house payment on a $3,600 take-home pay is not sustainable. Now you can do that for 18 months, but you're going to have to be door dashing and delivering pizzas and some other stuff. You are going to have a bizarre schedule. Y'all are going to be exhausted at the end of this 18 months, but at least then you'll be able to go get a job making $50,000 or $60,000.
Staying afloat for the 18 months.
If you can hang on, do something ridiculous to hang on for the 18 months and get out the other side, you can make it. But you're not even going to make it 18 months with what you got right in front of you. Something's going to give. Hang on. We're going to put you through Financial Peace University as our gift.
Kaylee joins us up next. She's in Madison, Wisconsin. Hey, Kaylee, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can Ken and I help today?
So I'm just calling because my husband and I recently got into a position where we are struggling to pay for our 4 walls. So I just wanted to kind of get some advice from you guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kaylee.
What happened?
Yes. Basically, I am a financial analyst in Madison, Wisconsin, and I'm making $68,000 a year, and I also received a $3,000 bonus this year. My husband is a real estate agent here, and with the housing market, it's been just, a little rough. We also have 3 kids, so right now we're paying like $2,000 a month in childcare. So basically, after all of our expenses, we have like $300 left for groceries. So I just am wondering what we should do to change. I have a 2019 Honda Pilot with 34,000 miles on it. So I bought it for $36,000, and I can sell it for probably like $35,000. We also were gifted the mutual funds last year, $106,000, so quite a bit of money. So we have some things to fall back on, but
Kaylee, let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
George will walk you through all of this, but we need to find out a little bit more. So, how much money is your husband making as a real estate agent?
Well, it totally depends on like the month. He made like $40,000 in a couple months, and then it was like just offers.
No, I totally understand. But I mean, if you look at last year, the year before, what's he making? What's the average?
Well, we just did our 2021 taxes, and our taxable income was $80,000.
Okay,
but you make 60.
Yeah, after taxes, like after healthcare and dental and
okay, and then
my Roth IRA.
What kind of debt do you guys have? How much?
Well, in December we just paid off all of our debt. So
you're debt free?
We paid off our house, yes, yeah, we paid off our house, our car, and $79,000 student loans.
Wow, way to go!
Yeah, we've been working really hard, but I feel like we just hit a wall.
Well, Kaylee, I want to just encourage you that you guys are not in a dire situation. I know it feels like that because of the child care and there's not a lot of margin in your budget, but you don't have any payments to anyone except the mortgage, right?
We paid our house off, so it's literally just like.
Hold on. You guys have
utilities.
no payments in the world. Even making
No.
$60K in Madison, there's no money left over to eat and put food on the table and get gas in the car?
So after, like my take-home pay is $3,400 a month, and childcare is $2,000 a month. Utilities are on average like $250 a month. Our car insurance, maintenance, gas around $214 a month, and then it's just $50 for my phone, $75 for internet, and then $250 we have our kids in some sports right now. So it's like $300 some dollars for groceries. It's pretty tight.
Okay. Where's this emotion coming from? Is it because of the stress of the very little margin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We just don't know when the next paycheck's coming on his side. So, like, we used our emergency fund the last 3 months, so it's gone.
Okay.
Where is it going towards?
What? Yeah.
Well, okay, so we were overspending. We were spending more than my income made, and like pulling from his income. Like his income should just be savings, but we were pulling from it to pay for childcare and anything else. Like we were eating out, so we're not eating out anymore. I canceled like Apple Music, Audible. Like,
is he on board? Is he on board with all this? I mean, because what I'm trying to piece together is, okay, so you guys walked the baby steps out, except for the fact that you didn't really adhere to the budget. You paid off debt, but you didn't really have a budget, and so you got yourself in trouble. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, George, I don't know if this is money advice. I got to tell you, your husband needs to stink and put his big boy pants on and step up. And I don't know why he's not selling houses in Madison, Wisconsin. It's not like you're in the slums. I don't have the real estate data in front of me, but if the housing market is so slow that he can't sell houses in Madison, he needs to get a better job. This is an income issue. I mean, you guys need to get your budget in place. But what is he doing?
Well, he's with the kids. So we
wait a second. You're spending $2,000 a month on childcare.
Yeah, 18 hours a week is what we can afford. And that's with our kids. Their school, they go to private school, so they're in their tuition plus childcare for our youngest, and then during the summer it's all three of them. So the monthly average is $2,000 a month.
All right. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm not picking on your husband. I'm not trying to be unkind. Do you agree that this is an income issue with him? He can be and should be making more money. Yes or no?
Yeah. Oh, we both think we should be.
Well, then he needs to get busy, and he needs to get busy.
We are looking. We are looking right now, both of us. But we just at a point where it's like we've been looking.
Kaylee, I'm gonna give you a gift here. I want you and your husband to go watch all of the videos in Financial Peace University. I'm gonna give you a year to Ramsey Plus, and I want you to get on a written budget every month. I want to know where every single penny is going from your income. You make well above the average household income in America, and you don't have a payment in the world. You don't have debt. You don't have a mortgage. There's no excuse that you guys can't live your life with a little bit of margin.
And George, I got to throw this in here, a practical thing. You got to sit down and be real about maybe pulling those kids out of private school for a season. A season.
Here's the four walls: food, utilities, housing, transportation. If you get those basic needs covered, everything else can go away. Every subscription, every private school, every sport, I don't care. Right now, we've got to get above water, and we got to figure out what the root of this is. And if it's overspending, we're buckling down on this budget because we can't live like this. You can't live with this much anxiety. You guys work too hard to be this broke.
I have a little bit of a situation happening right now where I have started a company with a co-founder 3.5 years ago. And from day one, we've had some disagreements, but throughout those disagreements, we've always been able to come to a compromise, and we were both very hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
Over the period of time, the company has grown to 12 employees with a shop in New York and everything that you could possibly need to do a beautiful paint job on your home.
Nice.
I have worked tirelessly for the past 3.5 years to build the business to what it is today and what it's cash flowing at today. Now, these disagreements between my co-founder and I have come to a point where a lot of trust is lost. He's started other businesses within the same shop, taking resources from my business, while simultaneously, anything from, putting wrong things at the paint store on other accounts, X, Y, and Z, sketchy checks that
fraud?
were cashed in his other bank account.
So fraud.
Wow.
Of six, we're talking $6,000.
That's stealing.
So he's stealing from what? He's stealing from you. Yes, that's what that's called. It's called theft and fraud.
I'm going to be hiring a very good lawyer.
Good.
During this process, along with a forensic accountant.
Perfect.
And I've
right
had a ton of advice from people that have run businesses and done this type of thing. Now, moving forward here, it came to a point 2 weeks ago, where he had handed me an operating agreement because I had never fully signed into an operating agreement with him. Been 50-50 since day one. I was going to get an operating agreement drafted up and make sure that it's legit.
But you never did.
Which I never did. Now, he had gone to an attorney without including me in the conversation, and he had drafted out a good 20-page operating agreement stating every last thing in the company. He was pressuring me to sign it one day while I was at the office. He's like, you have to sign this. You have to get it done quick. And I go, no.
For you.
I am reading this. This thing front to back.
And what'd you find?
So he basically, 10 pages deep within the document, he hid a clause in there where it basically assigned him as the executive manager and put me as just a member of the company.
So how can we help? We see that he's duplicitous. We see like he's a nefarious fellow, but you didn't sign it. Great. So what can we do for you today?
Now, today, I am selling my shares. I'm getting everything together and making sure that it's right. I did get him to agree to pay out fair market value on my portion of the company.
Are you selling it to him?
Been determined. I am selling it to him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Based on a fair market value of what my company is worth.
So what will you get?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I have
Hold on. Stop. You got to do this in the right order. If you're hiring an attorney and a forensic accountant, wait till all that smoke clears before you accept an offer.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know how much money's been going out the back door, and you don't know what money is your business money that's used to buy other equipment for his business. You don't know how much he's taken out loans in the business's name to buy. Like, you have no idea how bad this is.
And my accountant is working on this as we speak, gathering together all of the information.
Listen, you've done the right things. Tell us what we can do for you today.
So once I get this money, which should be anywhere from, I want to say, $300,000 to $600,000. What is going to be the? It is a gap because he's going low. I'm going a little high.
Again, to John's point, you don't even know what you're basing it off of, and that's the hard part. So we can spitball with you and say, well, if it's $300, maybe do this, and if it's $600, maybe do that. But we are literally speculating.
You'll have to do a net present value on the company. You'll have to depreciate all of the stuff you have inside. You'll have to take the building that you've bought. I mean, you have to. It's just going to be a nightmare untangling this. And by the way, the attorneys and the accountants, God bless them, have a vested interest in going through every receipt because they get paid every 6 minutes, right? And so, if you and him can shake hands on something or get, it's kind of like a real estate person for businesses to come in and do a net present value assessment and give you if you want to do that. But man, he's going to offer you something ridiculous. You're going to make up something ridiculous, but y'all going to have no numbers to actually base this off of. But somebody needs to come in and do an evaluation of your company, and you'll need to agree, probably in some sort of settlement, some sort of like agreement. We're both agreeing that this is the person, and that person will do an assessment.
We are hiring an assessor on Sunday. We're all going to meet together and determine the assessor to assess the business's value.
Great. So let's pivot off of that, because I think you're doing all the right things. Let's pivot to your question, which is, what would you do with the money after selling your business? Right? That's the real question here.
What am I going to do with my life?
Oh, your life. Okay. Let's get to that.
My life.
You tell me. What do you want to do?
Do you want to open another painting business? You know how to run it.
Absolutely
Then do
not.
That. Oh.
It is a nightmare running a business.
No, it's awesome. You just had a bad partner.
For me.
But okay, so you don't want to do that. What do you want to do?
I want to ski, and I want to paint luxury houses by myself out in a mountain town somewhere, and I want to invest my money smart, in a smart manner.
That
you know what else I want?
Hallmark movie.
I want $1 million, and I want a new Gibson Firebird, and actually an old new Gibson Firebird, and I want to go to space.
But wait, no, wait. I'm not going to be as facetious as John, because I actually don't think what you're saying is
it's not
a
far
pipe
off.
dream.
No,
I think that you were doing something on a very grand scale, and you're like, hey, I just need to back it down a little bit. I don't need a business with 12 employees. I just need me. I'll go out and paint. I can make enough of a living for me to sustain my lifestyle, and if I can do that in an area that I love, someplace where there's mountains, I can ski in the winter, that would be great, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
That is what you're hearing. And before that as well, I'm so burnt out. I am so drained from this entire thing and the litigation that's about to happen. I'm going to take my ATV, put it in the back of my truck, and travel the entire United States, coast to coast, visiting all of my friends and locations that I wanted to.
Well, now we're getting into John's world.
Why?
Is that a smart idea?
No.
Is that like...
No. That's your version of like, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Like, why?
Well, do you have a bunch of money? Tell us what kind of money you have, because that could inform some of this.
Whatever you think you're going to go home with. Here's what's going to happen. You've already done the math on $600,000.
Right.
And if you get an offer for $450,000, you haven't taken out taxes, you haven't taken out attorney's fees, you haven't taken out assessor fees, you haven't taken out tax fees, you haven't taken out any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get an offer for $450,000, which might be a super fair offer, you're going to feel like this partner just took $150,000 from you because you just made up a number. And so, dude, don't go visit your friends, take 2 weeks off. That's all fine and good. But, bro, you can't cash out of life. And, by the way, it's your right to be tired on the front end of this. It's fine. Just get through it and make good choices on the way through.
Yeah. Beware spending money before you get it. Beware.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Some people love the show so much that they email in, and sometimes it's not love, Jade. Sometimes they've got bones to pick. They got gears that have been grinded. Ooh. And producer James sent us one that David sent in. So can I read it out loud?
Read it out loud with feeling.
Thanks for all the entertainment and advice regarding finances. But what I don't get is why you guys get all excited when a guy says, I just got engaged or I just got married. There's hand clapping, cheers, congrats, etc., especially when it's someone in their early 20s. These kids are just too young to know what they're getting into, but you guys cheer them on. Unreal. Fact is, that guy just signed a contract saying if the marriage doesn't work out, which most don't, then there's a good chance she'll take him to the cleaners in divorce court. We hear about this all the time. There is nothing in it for guys to get married at all. This did not happen to me. I am not married, so I am not bitter or angry. Women can usually cash in if it doesn't work out. People might argue that getting married is good because you have a partner, someone to help you, etc., but you can have all of that without signing a contract saying you will provide cash and prizes, alimony and or child support, when it doesn't work out. In California, if you get divorced after 10 years, you will be paying her forever or until she remarries. I've noticed that in most marriages, soon after the vows, the woman chops off most of her hair, and starts barking orders at her husband.
Oh.
Marriage is not like it was 50 years ago. Would love to hear what you think. Thank you. Wow, David.
Oh.
So much to unpack there. And I think a professional counselor should do it. But, we'll add some color commentary to this.
My guy sounds like he's been burned, George. Or
absolutely.
He's jaded, one of the two. Like, wow.
Yeah, which, you know what? As much as we can pick on David, he represents a large portion of the male population who feels this way. And if you don't believe me, go to any YouTube comment section and they're in there going, this is why you should never get married. They'll take you to the cleaners.
That's interesting because there's actually so many great, this is a show about money, your life and your money, but there's actually a lot of great reasons to be married. I mean, if we talk about it from the money standpoint, he seems to think that, it's all about being taken to the cleaners and it's all about losing out. I definitely have some... Maybe you're just picking the wrong lady, but there are definitely some positives to being married. After being married 15 years, I'd like to think that there's
I just never once looked at marriage as this like financial contract and who's getting what. Like that's just a weird spirit to have.
Well, no, you definitely don't want to go into it like that. Like, hey, I'm going to marry this guy simply because. That
if you have that attitude and you get married, you probably will get divorced and it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
You went in with terrible intentions and a terrible spirit.
Side note, that just made me think of a story. So my husband, Sam, who happens to be sitting out there, when we were engaged, he was in his grandfather's will, right? To get money upon death. But there was a stipulation that said he had to marry someone Jewish to get the money. And your girl is not Jewish. So that put us ultimately to the test.
Wow.
And Sam chose me over the money.
Will. Well, how much are we talking here?
Ooh.
Like 10 million or 20 grand?
$70,000.
70 grand. You're worth more than 70 grand.
I like to think it's great to know that I'm worth more than $70,000.
You can't put a worth on a person, but we know that you're at least worth more than that.
100%.
And I think he's saying the ROI is there.
The ROI.
He would do it all over again.
He better.
He's amazing.
He better.
Well, Jay, this is an interesting conversation because there's been a lot in the news about marriage and wealth and the power of couples to build wealth versus someone who's single or even those that are cohabitating, just shacking up.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
What are we finding?
It's interesting. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal and they were talking about this wealth gap that you're talking about. And they found that people who were living together, not married, not even sharing their finances, but their net worth was a quarter of those who were married and sharing finances.
Wow.
A quarter. That means if you're married sharing your finances, you are earning 3/4 more. Your net worth is that much higher.
Yeah, and here's the numbers if you're curious. The median, this is as of 2019, median net worth for cohabitating couples aged 25 to 34 was 17 grand. And for married couples, it was 68 grand. And for singles, 7 grand.
Yeah, that is
shocking.
Shocking in some ways. But actually, George, when you really think about it, it's not that shocking because think about it. I'm just thinking of it from compound interest alone. Compound interest on one person's, say they've contributed $10,000, right? And then the spouse over here contributed another $10,000. Compound interest isn't helping you the same as if you had $20,000 all in one spot. So there's that. Then there's a whole homeowner side of it.
You're more likely to be a homeowner, which is, houses appreciate. And you're more likely to be investing. You're more likely to have dual incomes. Yep. And it's harder to gain traction as a young single person than it is as a married couple. And so
better together.
And we also, there's new studies. One is from Cornell showing that joint bank accounts have a higher correlation to longer lasting and happier marriages.
That is very interesting.
Because that's a controversial stance we have, is that you should combine bank accounts, and people come at us with the spirit of David saying, "Oh my, she's gonna take you to the cleaners if you have." I don't know why I'm becoming a wrestler right now, but that's the David voice.
It's interesting. I think the connection there is that you have long-term planning in mind. If you're willing to combine your finances, it means that there's a strong level of trust, which it takes trust to really get anything done. And then that you're really thinking towards the future. You've sat down and you've planned out, which means you're probably on the same page. And you know as well as I do that when there is no vision, the people perish. Dave says it all the time, and I think that when you have that vision as a couple, as a married couple, you put your money together, of course, you're going to go further, faster. You're going to do better together.
Yeah, and there's accountability that is built in when you have a partner. because when you're single, you can kind of just like do your own thing, and no one's going to yell at you for going on a retail therapy spree.
Facts.
Versus Sam going, hey, I just saw that bank transaction come through. What's going on here? Let's have a conversation about it. And so that accountability helps keep you on track, the shared vision, the shared goals. And it's one of the reasons Financial Peace University is such a powerful tool that changed both of our lives. And my spouse works at Ramsey Solutions.
Hey.
And so when we started our marriage off, I had already gotten out of debt. She was way smarter than I was and never touched debt. And so we had this crazy goal of like, what if we saved up a huge down payment and then paid off our house as quickly as possible?
Wow.
And so in 26 months, we paid off our mortgage after the intensity. And we did our debt-free scream almost a year ago. And I'm telling you, the power to build wealth when you have a couple that's on the same page with the same language, shared common language, the same goals, shared vision. I mean, that's what makes a power couple. Unstoppable.
You guys are unstoppable,
and
man.
So if you want that, it's available for you. And don't listen to the hope stealers out there like David saying, don't get married. She's going to take you to the cleaners.
Absolutely.
Get rid of that turd attitude right now. Okay? Have a little bit of hope. We need more optimists in this world. And there's plenty of amazing marriages out there, plenty of people who will show you that it's possible. And one of the reasons is getting on the same page with money.
That's right, George. And it begs to be said, because I got to say this. People might be listening and going, ooh, if we just combine our finances, that's our golden ticket. If y'all are out there, say you're living together, but you're not married, do not combine your finances. If you're not married, don't combine your finances.
Call. Yes.
Right? We got to say that because the implications there could be dire.
Put a ring on it, go to the courthouse, and then combine your bank accounts. And by the way, if you're one of these guys that's been dating a girl for like 8 or 9 years, she's waiting on the ring, Jeff.
Come on, man.
She's been waiting too long. Homegirl's about to bounce if you don't commit.
Come on, son.
So that's just a PSA to all the Jeffs out there. If your name is Jeff and you're a good guy, I'm sorry. But I just had to use someone's name.
Jeff's good. I usually use like Biff or...
I like Biff.
Cousin Boo Boo.
Rarely is there a Biff out there listening. Oh my goodness. Well,
Cousin
it's a good conversation. David, we picked on you, but we do appreciate the email and thank you for listening. You can send in your feedback at ask@ramseysolutions.com.
Hey.
All right, we're going to the phones and we have Tord in Hartford, Connecticut. Hi, Tord. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. How can we help?
Yeah, so basically, I've been financially stupid for many, many years. And today, my car actually got repossessed. And I was trying to...
Today?
I was trying to work...
As we're talking?
Literally today.
Oh, my gosh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. And my biggest question is... I have enough money. I'm getting about I don't have any savings right now.
Okay.
But I'm getting a lump sum from my unemployment, about $4,000. And I don't really have any bills. I'm a truck driver. I'm over the road. I don't pay rent or anything like that. So it's very easy for me to save a bunch of money.
Okay.
So, but my question would be, what is the best approach to this? I owe about $18,000 in the car.
Okay.
I think it's worth about, if they were selling a used lot, about $17,000 from my research. So for the credit hit standpoint, since they already repoed it, would my best course of action is to have them to sell it and then have me pay the difference, which I'd be able to do, or should I get it back?
How many payments behind are you? Like, how much is it going to cost you to get it back?
4. It's about 4 payments behind. So minus, it's about $2,000. I'm paying $500 a month.
Okay. Was it a voluntary repossession, Tord, or?
No, it's just I was expecting to get the unemployment lump sum a lot sooner to pay it, and I just didn't get it in time.
Can I ask what's caused you to be late on payments in general? What got you into this cycle of being late for car payments?
Yeah, I've been suffering with addiction problems for many, many years. I was a closet addict.
Okay.
No one really knew about it, so I was just doing the bare minimum to survive and support my habit.
Okay.
And I'm now, I've been sober for 2 months and trying to get everything back together again.
Wow. Congratulations. That's huge. We talk to a lot of people who have dealt with addiction in their story because it does usually lead to a lot of financial issues for obvious reasons. And we always want to applaud those of you that have worked this part of your life, because I think that's the biggest celebration, honestly, even more so than the money. I mean, the fact that you've stayed clean for 2 months and you're walking this path and doing the work. We very much applaud you.
Very
so
good.
we want to be able to help you with the money side, which is why you called. So your
I'm not
payment.
depressed by it. It feels good stitching things back.
You sound like
together,
you're in very
know?
good spirits.
great.
Like you sound
That's
super
great.
positive.
Thank you.
So you owe $2,000 in back payments. What about the cost of the repo and everything like that? What are those fees associated?
I don't know at the current moment. I know Connecticut state law is $25 per day for storage. That's the maximum.
Okay, and you just started
if I go on
today.
the high end of the repo of $500, it'll be about 20. If I was to do it right now, it'd be about 2,500.
Okay.
But I doubt I'll get my unemployment check within the next 2 weeks.
What other debt do you have? Tell me more about your financial situation.
Well, that's the good part. Since I've been really bad financially, I was never able to get loans for anything. I only have about $8,000 of consumer debt.
$8,000 of consumer debt?
Yes.
Okay, is that
About
credit cards?
8,000. A mixture of credit cards, not paying cell phone bills, just, regular.
So you have
stuff
things
like
that are in collections or like that you're delinquent on?
Everything's in collections, yes, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Well, I know for me, I think a goal would be to get this car back because you're going to be able to sell it well. You'll only be in the hole $2,000 and it's an asset for you, right? So versus it just going off in the wind and you owe $18,000. I would do what I can to talk to them and say, hey, in the next, 2 weeks. Are you sure that you're going to get this check in 2 weeks? That's my only fear. You thought you were going to get it earlier and you didn't.
It's the government. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Are you working now?
Yes, I'm working now.
How much are you making a month?
I make about $80,000 a year, so about $5,000-6,000 a month.
Okay.
So the unemployment was just back unemployment pay, like it was a lump sum they owed you on top of what you're making
I've been
monthly.
trying to get it for 2 months, so it's been a while. I was unemployed for about 2 months. I still haven't gotten anything. It's been a back and forth.
How many months ago were you employed? Like how long have you been making consistently $5,000 a month on your own?
I've been here for a month.
Okay. So what I would do if I were you, because like you said, it's the government you're dealing with. You thought you were going to have it 2 months ago. You don't. I would hate for you to depend on something that you don't have control over. Force a big asset like a car that you could be able to get back and sell privately and take the difference and all the things. So if I were you, you said you have no expenses. I would try to save. I would work extra, do what you can to save that $2,000. It'll probably end up being, $2,500 after all the fees that you're going to have with it.
Yeah.
Those back payments, and try to save that within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And if you get the unemployment check as well,
it's gravy.
That's gravy. Yes. But I would make a plan on my own. And again, this may be you working outside, doing some extra work, even outside of your day job. Doing what you can, because I think owing $18,000 without an asset and you're starting from zero to pay that, it just seems so much more defeating.
Yeah.
Than getting it back, right? Working a month. But I would call them, contact them, make a plan.
Yes.
Put it in writing.
And before you get off the phone, Christian's going to pick up and give you Every Dollar. That's a budgeting app, so you can see what to do with this $5,000 that you're making every month. Thing one, like Rachel said, get the car back. And thing two is get current on all of your bills. Cell phone, water, all of your utilities, get current.
Yep. And Christian, throw in a Total Money Makeover book as well to get you on this plan, because we're cheering for you, Tord. You've done the hard work. You can do this.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Headline that I looked at, and it's coming from a new study from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Men are dropping out of the labor force because they're upset about their social status. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. I don't know that I've read a more pathetic headline in my lifetime. I'm going to say it again. I want you to hear what it really is saying. The headline is, men are dropping out of the labor force because they're upset about their social status. What it should say is, men are quitting because it's not going the way they want it to.
Oh, man.
I'm not making as much money as the other guy. So I'm going to go home and live off of mom and dad. You snowflake. You wimp. What is happening here? All right, now, before I go further into data, I got to take 30 seconds on this. And some of you are going to say, oh, you're old school or you're a boomer. Well, number one, Yes, I am old school. Number 2, I'm not a boomer. I'm a proud member of Generation X, whatever the crap that means. I've never understood what that means. But let me tell you something. You know where this starts? It's a total generation, where we tried to make everybody feel good, and we gave everybody a trophy or a participation ribbon for showing up. And I got news for you people. This is what happens when we try to make everybody feel good and we try to avoid having them feel the sting of loss. I got news for you. There's first place, and then there's loser. I'm just being honest.
You ain't first, you're last.
Well, but listen, you say, well, kid, what about the Olympics? They got the gold medal, the silver medal, the bronze medal. Well, these are Olympians who work really hard. We should acknowledge first, second, third place. But in youth soccer, when the score is 5-0, I got news for you, little buddy. You lost. You lost 5-0. And by the way, the 5-year-olds know. These kids are smart enough to realize that the ball went in the other team, went in our net twice, and we haven't even sniffed the other side of the field.
And you want to know what, Ken? They can handle it.
They can, Jade.
They can handle it. These kids are resilient.
But these dudes can't.
And that's a shame.
Now listen, folks. Here's the data. The study found that the decline in earnings for non-college educated men over the last 4 decades has increased their likelihood of leaving the labor force by nearly 0.5 percentage point. Now, this might hurt some of your feelings, but I can say this. Younger white men in particular were more likely to leave when their expected wages fell relative to their more educated peers. But while the white men are wussing out, turns out the ladies aren't, Jade.
Whew, tell us.
Women have not seen the same level of decline in their wages based on education.
Wow.
That group has seen a 32% increase in weekly earnings. Now, there's 2 things I want to get at. First, we have a culture that has created this context. What do I mean? Very simple. We have for decades said that the college diploma is the most desirable way to live a life. In other words, if I have a college degree, I'm going to be more successful. And so the numbers have borne out that way because companies play the game too.
Right.
Oh, well, you don't have a degree. But the bigger problem is we have men that are leaving the workforce altogether. They are taking their ball and going home. You didn't pick me, so I'm going to go home, and mommy's going to make me feel better and cut me a PB&J sandwich and let me play on the video games all day long. I'm telling you, it's what's happening.
Ooh.
I'm just keeping it real.
Not my sons, Ken. Not my sons.
I know better than that.
And not my brothers, because if
Not
I
my
heard
boys.
that.
You know what? And here's what needs to happen. Here's the fix. There's not a policy in the world that's going to fix this.
Yeah.
This is a social problem. And I'm trying to have a little bit of fun with it, but I'm making a key point. If you are a family member, if you are a mom or dad, a grandparent, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a good friend, and you are harboring, and I'm using that word on purpose.
Yeah.
You are harboring a wussified dude who's got his feelings hurt and refuses to go work and be a productive member of society. It is incumbent upon you to kick their butt out.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it's a problem.
Ken, give me some DAP.
I don't even know what that means, but I'll do it. What's the DAP?
The DAP is I'm with you. I'm with you, heart
exciting.
and spirit.
See, folks,
right?
I'm getting cooler by the minute. All right? Now I'm going to go home and do that with my 17-year-old kid. He's going to roll his eyes so hard they fall out of his head.
You know,
what do you think about what I just said? And I'm not looking for approval.
No,
this
not
is
at
a
all.
societal problem.
It reminds me of, okay, I mentioned earlier, Sam and I have a talent agency, and we book talent all around the world.
Yeah.
And to get the job, there's a series of protocols you have to follow. And I find, Ken, because America's the greatest country.
I would agree.
It goes without saying, but it's cushy up in here.
Very cushy.
It's cushy.
You nailed
in comparison to some other countries.
That's right.
And what we find is that if we're hunting talent in, let's say, the Philippines or India, where life in some areas is not as cushy, when we tell them this is what you have to do to get the job, they do that thing lickety split.
And don't ask questions.
Jumping jack flash. They get that thing done. Whereas some of the counterparts who are here in the States, they could be a better player. They could be better at the job, but they don't feel that they should have to do.
Yep.
And so they sleep on it. And I'm like, now, wait a minute now. What's going on? The job is the job. But I think what happens is you get cushy. You start having entitlement. You start having this I deserve mentality. And I think the I deserve mentality can be it can be the beginning of the end for some people.
It is, and you've nailed it. So you all so those of you that rolled your eyes and laughed at my whole thing about a trophy, but see, this keeps getting supported throughout, where I show up and I'm rewarded for showing up,
just for showing up,
as opposed to getting rewarded for accomplishing.
Right.
And here's what happens. These men are falling out of the workforce because they look at the competition and they're getting beat. And instead of rising up and going, all right, I'll get you next round, you know what they do? They go, I'm just leaving altogether. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they've been protected from failure.
That's right.
And failure, best I can tell, Jade, with every successful woman or man in the history of the universe, failure is what propelled them forward. You can't learn to ride a bike without wrecking a bike.
It's necessity.
And I'm telling you, we have protected our kids from failure, and as a result, they've got no grit. So what happens is we coddle them until they get to the real world. They fail, they feel like a failure because he's making more money than I am.
Right.
And so they don't know what to do because they've got no grit.
They don't know how to act. If you find anybody who's successful, and I'm not talking about, at the very top, I'm not talking about the Michael Jordans. I'm talking about Ken Coleman. If I talk to you, a successful man, good at marriage, good at their job, you will list out. You could probably make a whole computer list of all the ways that you didn't get the trophy, all the things that you endeavored at and failed at.
Hey, I got told by a program director in Atlanta, second year into the chase, folks. Guy looked at me and said, I don't know why you're trying to get on this sports talk station. This is a number 8 market. And he said this, I'll never forget. He said, Ken, you don't have the talent to make it in a number 8 market.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
Let me tell you something. I did, and I do, and here I am.
Come on, son.
But listen, it hurt.
I know it did.
I'm having a little bit of fun, but I'm not puffed up. I'm telling you, I went home, and it rocked my world to hear that from that dude.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the next 48 to 72 hours, I had to decide.
Come on. It's about what you do next.
What am I going to do?
Come on.
Nobody's going to hand you anything, Snowflake. Like, you got to get out and take it.
It's like that old trick when it's like you get ready to open the door and then they drive forward again. And you try to open the door, they drive again. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time to my boys, and they're sick of me saying it, but, I'm trying to teach my kids, you're in a competition. And if you don't think you're in a competition, I got bad news for you. You're getting your head beat in. You don't even know it. You're competing against the you of yesterday, and you're competing against someone else. Now, not in an ugly way, but I'm telling you.
Healthy competition.
You're trying to book artists.
Come on. And there's always someone who's practicing more than you, that's studying more than you. You better believe it. While you're complaining, they're out there getting better.
Yeah.
So my question has to do with my dad wanting my husband and I to take a $60,000 loan. That's a Parent Plus loan he took when I went to college.
Okay.
And at the time, I never made a plan with him to pay it back. He never said, at this date, you're going to become responsible for this or anything like that. I've been married 3 years now, and we have wanted to help my dad because obviously it helped me a lot. But I'm really, really regretting that now. And I think, he never said anything when we got married or anything like that. And I think he's just, he's had a lot of conflicts with my husband, and the way I see it, it's like he's just frustrated with us. And
so you think this is for spite?
I do.
Oh,
yes.
How much can you tell us about the context of this resentment? Was it because of financial choices?
No.
Or is he using this as leverage?
I believe he's using it as leverage. I think if I were to say oh yeah, sorry, my husband is this, and this, just like you say, then maybe he would be like, okay, just because for the past 12 years he's been paying on this loan and has not ever mentioned it.
So what does he not like about your husband? Where's the beef?
Oh my. So I think in retrospect, so in the past, I was really close with my dad, and now I'm just processing all of these things that happened. I wonder if he has been maybe kind of enmeshed with me. Like in high school, he would tell me a lot of details about his own financial situation that I don't even know if he told my mom about. When he got
the loan, when he got the Parent Plus loan, he told me to not tell my older siblings about it.
Okay.
And I'm the youngest of 6 kids.
So what does this have to do with your husband?
Yeah, you mentioned you made it seem like it was kind of a
Yes. So he thinks that that he's been a very bad influence on me, and I think that has to do
What does
with
that mean?
me because,
How old are you, Emma?
Did you get your ears pierced? What did you do? Did you get a tattoo?
Oh my
What
gosh.
happened?
It's been so ridiculous, you guys. Like,
So you're still daddy's little girl, and he's like, I don't like what this guy's done to my daughter, and I don't agree with it. I don't like, he votes wrong, and it's everything.
and I think he's never let me go. I think he doesn't like that I've become a bit more assertive, which I feel like my husband has helped me really grow.
I mean, you're married, girl. You're married.
Have you had a hard conversation with your dad yet to say, Dad, I love you. I'll always be your little girl, but I'm also a grown woman, and I'm married to this guy, and we're doing our own thing. And it feels like you're using this and dangling it over our head to go, all right, you little grown-ups, here's your $60,000 loan back. Is that a good summary?
I feel like that's a very good summary, unfortunately.
And you're the youngest of 6? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Papa is struggling. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he is trying to hold on to a last little thread of what life was. At least that's the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Is he doing okay financially? Because it sounds like he doesn't have the ability to even pay back this loan. Otherwise, he would have done it.
And so that's why it's so complicated. I have wanted to help with the loan, never take it on myself, but I've wanted to help because honestly, he's made some poor decisions. He's a teacher. So he told me like recently that when my sister and I were in school, he deferred some of his own debt to keep us in private school and to pay for music lessons and stuff like that. So I feel like he has, in his mind, he's done the very best he can, which I'm sure he did in many ways, but
I think you're reading too much into it. I got to cut you. I think you have to look at this pragmatically and look at it for what it is. Otherwise, you're going to keep circling a drain. Because the truth is, yes, our parents do sacrifice for us, and they're supposed to, and they do, cut things off for them so they can do it for you. Like that, they're supposed to do that, and when they do it, we're grateful. And I don't think you don't have to replay that to prove that you're grateful to him, because we know that you are. But if we look at this, like, let's just pretend that George and I are kind of the judge here. I think Parent Plus loans are really tough because here's what we're really deciding between. The money was used for you, and it was for your education. You got your education, and then you kind of did you ask for the loan? I don't know. Did you?
No, I remember he really wanted me to go to this college, and I did want to go, but I remember saying, like, "Are you sure this is a lot of money?"
But if you didn't pay for it, what would have happened? You just wouldn't have gone, or what was the?
I would have gone to a different school for much cheaper or little to nothing.
And you would have paid for it in cash, or there still would have been a smaller loan?
So, no, actually, this is the kicker. He actually teaches at a college, and I could have gone there for free, but he wanted me to go.
Okay.
I know, it's so bad, you guys.
Dad, isn't that like the one reason to work at the college your kids can go for free?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
He really wanted me to go to this Christian private college.
Okay, so now we have the facts, because I don't want to run out of time. The fact is, he took out this loan. He wanted you to go to this school. You were willing to go someplace for free. And let's add the legality to it. The loan is in his name. So if you came in front of Judge Jade,
you have no legal or moral obligation to pay this back. But if it's going to weigh on you and you have the financial means, then help pay it down. It's that simple. And have the conversation. You didn't have the conversation before, so the next best thing you can do is have one now. And you go, all right, can we come up with a game plan? I don't want this to hurt our relationship. I know you disagree with my husband. Neither here nor there. Let's make a plan to get rid of this debt.
And if I were you, I'd try to settle for half and half. I'd be like, let's go halvesies on this. You played a part in it. I took it. I took the gift. I took the loan. So I played a part in it as well. And so that's what I would do. And if you do make this, I say this, but this is family stuff. And I hate business between family, but try to get it in some sort of writing of, hey, this is what we both agree. Let's sign it. And so that we can always say, hey, we said this. Here's what we said. I'll pay 30. You'll pay 30. What's the balance now? Is it still 60?
So it's 60. I'm guessing it was closer to 72 when he first took it.
Okay, well, let's talk about it at this point and say it's 60 now. You pay 30, I'll pay 30, and no hard feelings. And from now on, none of us co-sign for each other. And, you know, maybe you write him a letter and say all the wonderful things that you were going to say on the air about how he sacrificed. And, you know, that's that on that.
But if the wedge has already been driven, then this debt is not going to change much of that.
No.
It sounds like he's got other beef, and this is just one part of the puzzle, which I'm so sorry. I mean, that's not a fun thing to deal with. And money getting involved just makes it 10 times worse.
It does. Yeah, Parent Plus loans are a big
Please don't do it.
no-no.
If you're
Don't
listening
do it.
and you ever take a Parent Plus loan, just know I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
And a puppy stopped wagging its tail.
Yeah, it's a problem. Don't do it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.